Welcome back, everyone, to the HCS Pro League Fall Finals 2017. It's time for the elimination finals between Team Liquid and Splyce. Both teams getting ready on the stage, and I'm Golden Boy, your host for this day of action, Halo action. You gotta love it. Joined now by Onset and the one and only T-Squared, and I have just realized that I am way too overdressed for this analyst desk. So yeah,
I don't even have pants on.
Yeah,
neither of us do.
Do you not have pants on?
Did you not get the email?
This whole time, I just wanted to not wear pants. And then, you guys just show up here, why you do this?
Gotta feel free, man.
Gotta feel free. Okay, I have to transition out of that, and then I will. That being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into this, because Team Liquid and Splyce, this matchup is going to be incredible. Not only do you have a Splyce team that really needs to find themselves here after that defeat against Optic Gaming, but you also have Team Liquid coming hot off of a victory 4-0 against NV. T-Squared, I'm going to start with you here. Get your thoughts on Liquid and their performance thus far.
Well, Liquid, first of all, performance is great. To go and beat NV 4-0, that's absolutely phenomenal. But here's the thing. Liquid is riding the highs right now, and Splyce could be riding the lows. Liquid coming off a big win against the #1 team coming out from this Fall Pro League. Meanwhile, Splyce coming off a loss to Optic. Are they doubting themselves? Hopefully for them, they're not, because I want to see this series go the distance.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want to see this series go the distance, and I think you make a hugely important point about this series, about how these two teams are coming off the back of such different results. Liquid looked phenomenal today. They've looked phenomenal for the majority of this tournament, whereas Splyce, they just lost handedly to Optic. You have to say there's a couple of close games in there, but Optic pretty much brushed them aside and had a pretty easy path to the final. So I feel like we talk about series and how things work out over a series. These first two games are going to be so vital for Splyce especially. And I feel if Liquid win these first couple of games, they're just going to ride the momentum and actually take this series.
Well, Splyce, though, how do you feel about this team, right? Because now they're in this position. We could end up getting a rematch of the Atlanta Finals. That being said, though, Liquid very hungry. Is Splyce ready for this challenge that Liquid is bringing to them? Because it seems like we have an awoken Liquid here.
No doubt about it. And what you'll notice is the teams that come off with the hot start, they finish as well. So you got to come out and win one of these first two games. You don't want to fall down in a series, because the momentum, you could see it. The crowd's getting into it. Once this crowd starts getting on your side, things can really get out of hand for the Splyce team. Liquid has the momentum right now. Splyce, again, they came off of the loss. They're going to have to come out and, in my opinion, win game #1 to stop Liquid, because Liquid's on a 4-game win streak right now.
Yeah, they are, and one of the players who thrives off momentum is Spartan. He put in some huge performances in that last game, and not just stat-wise, it was when he was picking up vital kills for his team at vital times in the game. So Spartan, as long as he can keep riding that wave of momentum, as long as Liquid keep winning, I feel like they're only going to get better.
One thing is, Spartan seems to be one of the more fired people up in this entire venue right now. And that's going to translate to a team like Splyce or Optic that come out a little bit slow with their communication. You hear how calm, cool, and collected they are? I feel like the counter to that is someone like Spartan with the energy he's bringing to the table. So that's a great point, Onset.
Well, guys, let's take a look at that series layout, though, because this is going to tell a story here. And it's going to be Coliseum CTF to open things up. Then the Rig Slayer, Eden Strongholds, Truth Capture the Flag, and if necessary, Regret Slayer, Empire Strongholds, and Plaza Slayer. That Coliseum CTF game, you couldn't ask for a better map game type. It's my favorite.
It's the best opening game. I love CTF on symmetrical maps like that. Throw it back to Halo 3 on the pit, whatever it was, where one team spawns on one side, the other spawns on the other, and you have weapons too. You have the rockets, you have the sniper rifles, so many skilled players here. This is just going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Predictions. Let's go. I need them.
I'm going to go with Liquid. I'm actually going with Liquid find their ways into the final. I think this is the best I've ever seen Liquid play. I think they are making minimal mistakes, if any, in the games that they're playing. And not only that, they're taking advantage of every opportunity they've been given, and they give themselves. So I'm going with Liquid, a series score 4-2.
Okay, what about for you, Tom?
I want to go Splyce 4-3, but that's just based on how they played yesterday. I still think they played great against Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming, that's a different level of competition. These are the two best teams that faced off in Atlanta, so it's hard to judge them when you're going and watching a team like Liquid play against Envy, who may not have brought their A game. So I'm going to go with Splyce 4-3.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your insight. It is now time to get into the elimination finals, and who better to bring you the action than Walshy and Sims.
Golden Boy, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Elimination Finals. My name is Sims. This beautiful man is David Walsh. Dave, it's been it's a pleasure to actually see you.
Yeah, for the first time, man.
Up.
Nice of you to stop by.
I know, you were late this morning. I was actually in before you. So far this week, really quickly, have you enjoyed it? How's it all been? The action been pretty good?
Yeah, so many great matches. EU stepped up, so many great storylines throughout this whole weekend, and I could not believe what we've seen so far today.
I mean, envious. 4-0. I personally didn't see that coming.
I thought only Optic was capable of sweeping Envy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of left us in a cracking situation because now as we come into this one, we look at Splyce. They give Optic a decent run. You know, so they're going to be playing out of the mind. But when you look at Liquid, you come into this, they're coming in fired up. They're coming in hot. You saw Spartan the Dog at the end of that. He was shouting, you saw 4-0, and he's like, okay, these boys are feeling it. They're ready to get in the groove. Any initial prediction from yourself, apart from this being an absolute slaughter?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. Had Splyce, let's say, lost in like a 4-0 fashion or had a rougher start against Optic, I would say this is a clear Liquid victory. But the fact that Splyce lost in some very close games, coming back and bouncing back from that Fathom bobble earlier, I expect this to be just a great brawl either way. If I had to choose one or the other, it's going to be a coin flip for me, so I don't even want to bother giving a random prediction.
Rock and roll, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen out in the audience, let me hear you make some noise. The Elimination Bracket Finals is about to get underway. This is Coliseum CTF on board with a shooter. Now, Dave, when we're looking at a map like Coliseum CTF, what are you looking from both of these teams?
I mean, clearly there's the Sniper and the Rocks on both sides, but Sniper's side is much more dominant. In general, you can push on over to that opposing team's Sniper cave. You can hold that Sniper bridge. It just gives you so many more options. In order for the other team to take you over, they have to meet you toe-to-toe at a positional disadvantage over from Fountainside, or they have to do a long flank all the way through the rocket runway.
Nice little pull there will be coming out as we see Stella just standing his ground, turns around, he's going to tag one there. BR comes out, but Eco comes in with a double kill. You can see in the kill feed just to pick it up two. Now eyes on the prize, see the flag, he's going to tag up one. You've got Tyler right above him, Spartan the Dog. He will get the kill though, so I'm not entirely sure how that one kind of went down, but he's just rotating around, making sure he's staying alive, which is fine. Looks around, does get the first, goes for the second, probably should have got the BR there. Very questionable challenge for the no-scope. Meanwhile, Sub-Zero struggling to stay alive here. He does stay alive, and he does have the rockets also. Looking down, and look at that, Dave. 4 in the chamber, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, you'd assume this is like the 10-minute mark or something along those lines, but has not used a single rocket, and that takes a whole lot of perseverance. You have to be completely reserved in those situations. I would find it really tough to believe if I had 4 rockets that I would not shoot at least one long-range rocket across the map. So far, though, 0 for 1 here from Sub-Zero. He got some hit markers there, so at least some damage is important, knowing that he's not just going to get fully pushed and punished.
Trade off 2 for 2, so the guys are just going to get themselves together, get a little bit of a composure here and see where things are. Please reload these rockets, man. Don't let me just put them in the chamber. Come on, this is giving my OCD a bit of an overdrive right now. He's going to anchor on this corner, straight on the outskirts on the pyramid, looking for any players. There you go, the anchor comes through, jumps out, rocket goes down, we'll see shots he falls, eliminates one, looking for the second. He's over there in the cave. The rocket finds its targets. That's 2 players down now. Using the Spartan abilities, Dave. I heard a little bit of the windy voice coming out, but he does stay on the map. And at the moment, he's just finding these kills. Hardscope comes in, picks up the double as well, and this is the time to move the flag, Dave.
And this is always one of those scary snowball situations. When you still have previous power weapons, as a new one's coming up, this is where you can get so much dominance and control. I believe it was Spartan who ended up picking up those rockets, so Sub-Zero, over on Snipe side, as we talked about, that dominating position over near Pyramid or Snipe Bridge, just able to get those angles and get those kills. And Sub-Zero taking his time on the flag grab, gets the melee kill for the killing spree, taken out, but this should surely be the first flag going towards Liquid.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy towards the end there. We saw the weapons, we're kind of doing the damage. Shotzi's going to apply this pressure further. I tell you what, Spartan's there, straight off the respawn, says, get the hell out of my base, my friend. Shooter anchoring down on the Royal 2, will drop to the maze, just looking for these players as they come off the respawn, being that aggressive player that he is, which is fine, and he's good. He's also not really giving away his position. He's not sprinting around, he's not showing on the radar, he's just wandering, taking his time. And I like the fact that he's not going for this flag capture as well. He's not going to try and pull it until he's got the right numbers, until he's got the call. Now the numbers come in, 3 go down, and you'll see Stella, he's going to move it across, but he's got to be careful because across the map, he's trying to pull this. Fair enough. He's doing it on his own, but he's just going to run into the wall of Team Liquid. He will fall. Stella comes through. Will tag up the second player, I believe. Yes, it is so. Cracking sticky grenade just before he dies. Will steal the deal there. Seal the deal, in fact, on that sticky. So the double comes in, but it's actually going to be Splyce. They do get a touch on that flag, Dave.
Yeah, one thing that seemed like it was good right at the start was Shooter pulling that flag, but in most cases, when you get that sort of flank, you have to do some sort of damage. In essence, Shooter kind of left his teammates out in a 4-on-3 situation. That's why Liquid was still just running rampant around the Splyce base.
A couple of questionable no-scopes here. I wish these boys would just whip out the Magnum and go for the kill. Now he sees two players, tags up one, and that's how you're supposed to do it. Tag him, get the mag out, then finish off the kill. Flag stalemate will come out. Eyes on the prize. Rockets come straight off the respawn. Boo Boo Doo grenades come in. 3 bullets in the chamber there. Gets the fresh reloader on them. But I'm looking to see where those rockets are because they're going to be the weapon, the power weapon here that will do the damage. And this could be the potential turning point here to see who caps this next flag.
I really like that baiting of the Splyce side rocket ramp. Instead of Boo Boo Doo just going over there and straight up challenging near fountain side, he let someone completely expose themselves over near that rocket cave. Because of that, that player overextended, they get the first kill, they get a couple more kills to boot, and are able to eventually translate that over into a cap.
And I tell you what, meanwhile, Renegades absolutely melting Liquid to pieces inside the base. Boo Boo comes in, finishing off one with the flag, and now they get the prize on the move. They're moving it across the map, down through bottom mid. Stella coming straight off the respawn. Unfortunately, Renegades there. Look at this. He's pushing the advantage. He wants to get aggressive. Killing spree comes through. The flag's still moving. Second one in the back of the net. 2-1 here now. But do we see all of a sudden, Dave, as soon as one flag comes out, they're just pushing again. The advancement comes through. They're all tagged down. Spartan, he's left with no shield. He's going to get his shields back, just creeping around here, making sure no one comes there. But every time, even if he's not going for these players, Dave, he at least can call them out and communicate to his teammates where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having ideas of where players are or not. You use deduction to get a good idea of where players may be. One thing that I'm just noticing from both these squads going head-to-head is any sort of misstep that they have. Anytime a flag is captured, you see an almost immediate counter cap attempted. Just really because they try to take advantage of any little mistake.
Oh, here we go then. Both flags are going to be out. Stella moves up onto S3, tags up one, he'll fall. Boo Boo with the kill feed there with a double, so that's great for his team there. Takes out one as well, also using great work here with the Platinum. He at least tags another to fall down now, so he has to be very careful as they press this advantage. Flag down in no man's ground. That's going to be Team Liquid who leave that one to fall. Can Renegade get a touch on this though? Let's find. Here comes the sprint, the slide and the thrust will come through. Also finds one. Need to get this touch, which he does. Incredible work, and his teammates give him some support as well. So 2 members fall. Spins around on the pinhead. Spartan's going to be there, but a teammate will clean him up. So amazing work here to keep that flag alive. And now all of a sudden, Boo Boo, well, he's found himself a cheeky sniper rifle, Dave.
And I like this play. Obviously, he's just trying to keep control of the center part of the map. See if he can get any players that overextend near rocket side. That is one of the biggest plays you can make when you're in these stalemate situations. A lot of players try to be this massive hero where they are single-handedly going for the flag capture or flag return on their own. However, one of the better plays that you can do is trying to catch those players who try to be these hero players, getting those number advantages, and pushing as a team.
The grenades go down on Rocket side. He's trying to get the information from the hit markers, but it's Shotzi who's actually got 3 in the chamber. Again, wandering, but he's being caught out. Flags there. Rocket goes down, doesn't find a target. Stella and Spartan, 2 will fall. 2 also fall on the side of Team Liquid. And I tell you what, my brain is melting seeing Liquid playing from the red side. I'm used to seeing him on blue right now, but it's actually Splyce in the blue corner. Flag standoff once again. Boo Boo hiding on the pyramid. Needs to get back within the ground. He's going to jump into enemy territory, and he just sees the top of the flag. But more than likely, that flag guy knows exactly where he is. You can look through that basement area, look straight through on the podium. He will fall. 1, 2, 3 members, I think, of Splyce. They're all dead. Potentially, it's the only the flag guy left. Can he get this return? It'd be absolutely massive. Yes, he does. We are all tied up to a piece, Dave.
That was such huge kills over on the center of the map, especially that one, I believe, is Stellar, who is lifting up from Snipe Lift, taking out Boo Boo Doo Boo as he's going up, obviously, predictable trajectory. Sometimes when players go up lifts like that, it should be an easy 5-shot, but Boo Boo had to take a little while to clean up those kills.
Stella, Spartan, 2 will fall. That's actually going to be Splyce who pressed the advantage there. We see this flag running. That bloody hell, that was quick. This could be it. Goes down. Can they get a pull on this one? They're all collapsing inwards, and there you have it. Team Liquid take game number 1, 3 flags to 2. And that was quick.
Yeah,
it was very quick.
Every single time we'd see some flag captured, it just felt like another team would get that momentum. They would make sure they would kill that player running the flag in, try to set up the cap of their own, and it just goes to show how on top of things these players are.
take a quick look at the kill feed and see if that told much more of the story compared to what we actually saw on screen. Big shout out to Mr. Dudinsky as well, Bravo in the back, controlling the POV. It's building you guys a story and trying to find all the moments that we don't quite see every single time. Dave, any particular stat line you want to pull from that one?
Well, I mean, looks like Liquid outslayed right there, and in general, outslaying wins the objective games. We do see some of those rare occurrences where teams are much more objective efficient, so when they do outslay by 5 or 10 kills, they might have a much larger margin by winning 2 or 3 caps, but slaying's the name of the game when you're at this height of the game.
Show you guys a couple of the replays through and how that game number 1 played out. Of course, if you are just joining us, welcome along to the HCS Fall Season Finals. This is the Elimination Finals. One of these two teams, after this best of 7 is all said and done, unfortunately will be leaving the competition. But I tell you what, every single one of these teams have played their heart and soul out to make it this far. After this, we advance on to the Grand Finals, where we see the Greenwall Optic Gaming, the current double-time, 2-time Halo World Champions. Now, they're looking at a completely different machine to what we saw back at Atlanta. Fair enough, they definitely put up a good fight, but it really felt like Splyce had done the homework. Splyce had their number. It's not very often you see Frosty throwing some big negative ratios around, but Splyce, they read Optic like a book, and I think this time round they've come into this in a different mindset, and honestly, it really feels like the Greenwall that we all love and know.
Yeah, and for the first time, it seems like Optic have been the ones to adapt and change their style of play based on their squad. They've just kind of ran their own game this entire time, and teams have been trying to catch up, but as we saw mainly on that Eden Slayer, just Frosty wasting that ammo, trying to get that out of the hands of players from Splyce. But on your screen at this moment is Stellar from Team Liquid, who's been having an incredible performance this tournament.
Stellar's one individual in particular that I don't think we touch on enough. He's definitely, without question, one of the best individually skilled players in Halo 5, and he's an absolute backbone of this roster. And you know, sometimes we might focus on, oh, one guy's going off with sniper, or one guy's throwing some big negative ratios around, but it feels to me like Stellar's just always that constant player. He's always at the top, he's always doing well. He's not putting out all the flashy bits and bats that you see, what kind of get our attention, but without question, he is an absolute pillar in this Team Liquid roster.
Yeah, consistency cannot be overstated when it comes to having a player on your team. You don't want to rely on someone just having a game where they go off, or other times where they just fall completely flat and only drop a few kills. So Stellar has always been that consistent player on this Liquid roster.
So, Splyce, and as you can see, this is another young man that's stepping up, and I tweeted it out earlier to be one of the greatest players in Halo 5 to come out of Halo 5, to be honest with you. I watched him earlier on, a 22 kill game, 3k damage, 60% accuracy. Like, I mean, even 61 currently over the season. It's like, he's just a freak. I want to kind of put it out there.
Yeah, absolute freak. But the other
insanely good
part that's most impressive is it says he's been competing since 2017, and he already has a tournament victory. How many players in their, over the history of Halo have gotten a tournament victory under their belt within their first year of attending live events?
Just really quickly while we get this next game on, do you think that puts a level of pressure on the shoulders coming into this, though, David? Obviously, it's still quite a young roster.
Yeah, quite a young roster, but I think they're excited. They finally got that first victory, and I think it's better than having that hunger still in their system. It shows that they are capable of winning, and I think that had to have been a question mark going through their heads prior to winning Atlanta.
Rock and roll game 2. Let's get this bad boy on the road. It's going to be Slayer on the rig. First team to bag themselves 50 kill will be your victor. Or when that little clock down in the right-hand corner runs out, whoever has the most kills will be claiming victory. One-on-one battle. Shotzi takes on Eco. He will fall. But as we said earlier on, Stellar, man of the hour, he comes back. He will haunt their dreams. Going to get that camo also. You can see Platinum Rep back down in the feed. Back it down. Redeem that now over at halo.gg. That'll only be up for a few minutes. If you don't get it now, you won't be getting any more camo creeping around. Any particular place you want to be seeing him move with this camo, Dave?
Well, first he wants to secure his side because his teammate Sub-Zero has the sniper. So first you want to make sure no players from the Splyce roster are trying to sneak by, because no reason to force action if they're going to bring it straight to you, especially when you got young guns that are so aggressive like the members on Splyce. However, as soon as that side's settled, then you definitely want to be moving over towards Snipe Hall, towards Whitehall. You don't want to do it as a one-man job, because as soon as there's a setup going in, they're going to watch every angle. It's not like Shotzi, or Stellar, can just do this single-handedly.
You just see him there just drilling people with this DMR, just being an absolute pain, controlling the center of the map and really stopping Splyce from making any advancement. And as we look across the kill feed, he's still going down, he's still taking out people with that DMR. It's actually Sub-Zero across who's causing them all sorts of problems, stopping them advancing in any side from this bunker way and any way through the stairs. They just can't move. And then all of a sudden you see still there the gun that he had in his hand. He had the scatter shot, so now he's pushing very, very harshly down through that corridor. Predicts the headshot. Shotsy, my friend. You might be good, but you ain't avoiding that bullet to the brain. One-on-one challenge. Will he win this out? Jesus Christ. He's absolutely melting them down.
0 health. If you looked at his health bar, there was just blinking red at that moment. So just had to like breathe on that guy as he tried to go for that melee, and Sub-Zero would have went down as well.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And then all of a sudden, Stella comes in. Sub-Zero finds another skull. The Penguin, it's found its final form. Finds a second one as well. Line him up and knock him down. My word, Zane, my word. Finally, they're going to take him out of the map. But I tell you what, the damage has been done. Look at that scoreline, 6-18. Splyce right now are just being battered around. I've been very, very concerned. Eco again comes in hard. DMR doing the job that it should do. We'll see one player getting beaten down now. I think there was actually Camo once again going in the hands of Team Liquid, so that'll be the second one that they have. Eco can just bank down here. Look at the prediction shots as well, down on the pipe work, making sure no one pops up there, at least they do. They're going to be drilled with lead. Also, looking across the board, it is indeed sneaky Sub-Zero himself. The DMRs though, Dave, I tell you what, they're doing so much damage here.
Yeah, they're just getting control of those any moment they can. And you just notice how Sub-Zero and this Liquid squad are just cutting down every single angle. They have not yet been surprised from some player flanking around from behind them or a spawn somehow catching them off guard. Right here is one of the first times you've actually seen Sub-Zero kind of slow it down and not shoot immediately. And that was because he was outnumbered and he waited for his teammate to push around elbow as Stellar comes over and gives the perfect flank.
He's gonna press this advantage. He just thrusts to the left, gets the beat down. Fair enough. He got killed himself, but it's definitely worth the trade. Fresh sniper rifle in the hands of the dog. Let's see what the dog can do. Send him to the pound, my boy. Sparty stepping up to the plate. One will tag him up from corridor. Grenade comes in. He's opted to move, but he's got a teammate to a right-hand side. He's checking this white hole, and he's checking down below. If they want to try and jump down pipes, unfortunately, they will be getting murdered. We can see now player outlines come in. One on Nest. One drops down. Easy beat down, easy kill. But that means he's been called out. They now know where the sniper is. He's got to be careful. We can see where this guy is. Will he catch the end of his gun? He does. Turns around, but it's the scatter shot. Seals the deal. His fate will be ended. And now all of a sudden, it's going to be potentially Splyce. I say that to try and get some power weapons. Banks it off the floor. It was a good attempt, but unfortunately, it won't work. That could potentially mean now, in fact, will they? Yes, so he gets it back. So every time Splyce tried to make something happen, you can see what they're doing here. They're trying to take control. Finally, they've got the sniper, Dave.
Well, here's the thing is they start to break through on one part of this Liquid setup. However, that other part is still standing strong. So even though they're somehow able to break through Whitehall, they still have a full setup over at top tower. So even though Booba was able to break through, get over to Engine 2, and try to grab that sniper, there was Stellar right there, ready to answer, jump up the top of the tower, and collapse in on that area. So every single time, they're not able just to get this full setup broken down. That's still, they kind of have like two self-standing setups. Like one way to kind of describe it, if you're not familiar with like architecture, is if you look at the arch in St. Louis, each half of itself stands on its own, and that's kind of like the Liquid setups right now. Is even if one half goes down, the other is standing by itself.
I'll tell you what. They're getting smashed to bits, but I want to hear what the communication's like. This is a young roster. We need to know if they're getting pumped up. Phil needs to be there, controlling what they're doing. So let's dive on in with an Astro listening on Team Splyce.
Back connector. Back connector. I saw him. Yeah, one guy. I got sniped. He went to back connector.
Yo, top nest, one shot. He's two top nest.
Two top nest. He goes one.
There you go.
Nice, last guy. Open field, one shot.
Absolutely,
in the back, They're gonna be some barrels, guys.
There's no more sniper.
5 barrels right now.
Yeah, bunker as well, Ant. Bunker as
They're
well.
all spawning bunker, dude. I'm going top snipe. I'm gonna block carbine for a second.
You two, Eco. You want me, Eco? You want me?
He's behind me. He's connected.
Watch out,
Back
back
head.
Watch out, back connector, yes.
There's two there, I think. Yo, top. Yo, base window.
Scatter and back hat.
Base window weak. There's two.
Base window. Are you base window? Base window.
You two, I traded.
Got one. Nice, Ryan.
Two, one shot. And one's in carbine. Carbine.
Backing out.
Carbine to make cat. And it's one barrels.
And as we see, you know, the confidence is still there, Dave. They're still making it work. The question I have to ask is it too little too late? Because it looks like they're starting to scrap things together.
Yes, too little too late on this game, absolutely. There's no way that they're going to somehow close this 16-kill deficit when you're only 3 kills away from Team Liquid. So it's good that they're starting to gain some ground and feel a little bit better. But at the same time, you're going to chalk this game up as a loss. Don't get your hopes up.
They're not giving in, and that's kind of what I wanted to hear. I wanted to make sure that you know, this team, again, with it still being a little bit of a young roster, making sure the composure's there, making sure they're keeping their heads held high, and that's what we want to see, and that's kind of what we're getting. But as you said, too little, too late. We're going to see Shooter ranking out on the left-hand side. Boo Boo comes in, double with the DMR, just drilling people. Spartan just looking to kind of put a stamp on this one. 2 more bullets, 2 more faces, and this will be 2-0 to Team Liquid. We'll see how this one pans out. Just watching bunker side, see if we can creep anybody off the spawn. Hard to go up in, which is fine. You want to be just anchoring here, and that's what he's doing now. You'll see the bullets in the grenades. Sometimes the grenades aren't the best thing in the world because they give away position, but that doesn't matter. There you have it, Team Liquid, 2-0. They put a stamp on Rigslayer, 50 kills.
And that was an absolutely impressive showing there. That lead, a 50-35 victory. Sure, a lot of people kind of draw that line as a stake, as determining that being the kind of crushing defeat. However, 50-35, that's not too far away from a 50-30 scoreline. 15 kills is nothing to be scoffed at. There's no way that had they lost one setup that would have rolled into a 15 kill differential. So that was clearly Team Liquid's game the entire way.
Can you kind of try and break down a little bit more of things that you saw going wrong? Do you think it was power weapon control, map control?
Yeah, so I feel like a few different times from Splyce, after we take a quick look at the scoreline, as Sub-Zero goes 17-5 for positive 12 that game. So obviously team winning by 15 slays, 12 of those are thanks to Sub-Zero. Taking a quick look at his damage dealt, far and beyond above everyone else with 2,500 damage, and no surprise with how many power weapons and how well he controlled them. But you asked kind of, how was Splyce faltering in that last match? How could they have done something there to break these Liquid setups? Is every single time I felt like Splyce would be a kill or two and break through part of this Liquid setup, they would just die once again. So we'd notice one of those challenges from Boo Boo Doo with Scattershot. Not that that was the game-changing challenge, but that was kind of the theme we saw from Splyce, is they would get a kill or two and they would just give up that slight advantage immediately as they would jump out and challenge or not know where to back up where they could be safe.
Man of the hour. Zane Heron, I mean, yeah, the Penguin has evolved to become Sub-Zero, and he's doing the work. He's doing the absolute footwork. He's being the monster that Liquid needed. And I think, you know, it's hard to say, did Liquid all along kind of need some more slaying power? It feels like now they are just becoming this raw slaying unit. Every time we see them win a game, they're working together. You'll see one person fall away or one person will call for help, and the body that they're on with will just drop in front of them. The communication's there, the teamwork's there, and then when you've got Sub-Zero just putting up some stupid stat lines, everything's looking very, very good now for Team Liquid.
Well, you ask if they turn in like the slaying powerhouse, and if you look at any of the top teams here, yes, they're all incredible slayers. Halo is a game where you can't really get away with having too many weak links or any weak links as far as in the slaying department, because as you kill more players, as you get more opportunities on the map, it just creates so many chances to do whatever you want. When you outslay the opposing team 2-1 or 3-1 or any of those ridiculous ratios, you are almost guaranteed to win any objective game you play.
I'm expecting a tweet or a DM from Tiberius Audley soon. Probably everything I say about Liquid, it'll probably tilt him off the face of the planet. It's like, no, you're wrong. So I'm probably expecting a DM for you soon. Don't worry about it. I'm ready for it, Audley. I'm ready for it. But just really quickly, while we get game number 3, it's going to be Strongholds on Eden underway. This is where I want you guys at home, the community, to get involved. I need you to grab your phones, grab your PC, laptop, iPad, whatever you want. Make sure you tweet this stream link right now. Team Liquid are 2-0 up against Splyce. Splyce just 2 more maps away from being eliminated from this competition and seeing a Green Wall versus Team Liquid Grand Final. So, tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS. Who do you guys at home think's going to win it? Let us know. But for now, it's map number 3. The first team to bag themselves 100 points will be the victor. Kicking things off with the big dog himself, it's going to be Spartan.
Yeah, Spartan going straight for this camo and has the perfect grenade as he sees those hit markers hit the player on the security ramp and somehow just sneaks away. Look at that. During that entire time, while Spartan's kind of running away, buying some time, 2 of his teammates make that, 3 of his teammates get kills on the Splyce members.
They're all pushing in here, boxing this one guy down in security. He will fall, so 3 of them just create this wall and move on. Sub-Zero's pushed back though. Red Nest, it will get reset. They all move into Catwalk. Will they move together though? Sub-Zero steps up. But Spartan could just wander around freely with this camo, watching his footsteps, checking all of his corners, making sure where people are, relaying this information. Blue Ben goes, now he holds back. Here comes the bullets, he gets tanked up from behind as well. His teammates will help him out. This is what I've been talking about. The Team Liquid team shot right now is absolutely on point. 2 plots will fall into the hands of Liquid, and they'll take the initial points.
Yeah, one other important facet to mark right there is how he just starts shooting immediately. Anytime you have camo, I've seen too many players try to be way too sneaky. Feel like they have to get a melee, get some sort of back smack. When you're with a teammate, treat it as if you don't have camo. Treat it as if you get a free first shot and just double team players down as quickly as possible.
I love that effort out of Spartan at least, kind of like step forward and then think, okay, shields are back, time to challenge this boy. Turns around, cracks him. He doesn't win the battle, but it's a great attempt nevertheless. Shooter, Mr. Ryan Sondy, putting some YOLO grenades in. Try and get a Kobe on there, but it doesn't matter. He actually did get assist. Boo Boo Doo comes in with the rockets, takes out Sub-Zero. Still, 0 points on the board here. They need to make something happen. That's exactly what Boo Boo's trying to do, but he needs to be careful. He does have some support, but the back whack comes in. He's going to be sat down on his ass, unfortunately. It's going to be great teamwork from them. We can take a look at some of these stats right now. These players are just playing out of their mind, but the time, Dave, it's ticking away. Still very, very early, you know, and he understands that he can't lay on his laurels and just stand by and stay in the hill. As soon as he does, he's just taken out and eliminated immediately. Every time we look at a body, they're getting dropped. 1, 2, 3 members now of Team Liquid, as we just see Eco sitting back. And why not? There's no point in dying. Stella off the respawn with the rockets. Looks, one player goes flying above his head on the stairwell, does pick up the kill, which is fair play. Look at all of his teammates just steamboating across his head.
Yeah, this is looking real bad for Splyce, but not as bad as it could be. One small saving grace they get from Splyce is that they've been controlling this catwalk the entire time, but just as I'm saying that, we notice how Liquid just kind of swoops right in, takes that camo, and is probably going to take over catwalk.
Rockets, camo, OS. If you Splyce fan right now, feels bad, man, but that grenade actually just kind of got them a bit of a bargaining chip. They can now move forward. Shooters checking the corners, making sure no one's over here in blue. He does see that catwalk's been contesting. Great shots come in, helps Renegade out to secure a double. One player's going to be Spartan challenging. This will be a belling kill. Needs to be careful with the barrels though. Spartan sees it. Easy kill from him. He's going to fall down. Now Blue Bend, eyes on the prize for Boo Boo. He can get the reset here, but he's also got to be careful. Make sure Spartan's still not creeping and peeping. Spots one across the map. It's actually going to be Eco downstairs. Rocket comes in, hits the floor. And now he's going to fall as well. Sub-Zero anchoring round on Blue. Spots one that's still going to be shots. He's trying to stay alive. But the back whack from Shooter, he's going to be spawning there. And he'll be able to take him down. And now they're getting some traction, Dave. Now they're getting some points on the board.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a scary situation from Shooter. It kind of reminds me of those Scooby-Doo commercials or those cartoons when like Scooby or someone will start hugging the monster and doesn't realize that he looks to his left. That was Shooter hugging the barrel right there as he exploded at the end.
Yeah, I was very, it felt bad, man. There's no worse way than being blown off a map and just deleted. Fire barrel, one-on-one battle. Spartan says, nope, not today. I will opt to both stay alive and also get myself the plot. Nice platinum pack coming in there, Dave. What's that word?
Oh, Final Boss. I mean, great team name from back in the day. Always one of my favorite squads to play with. And yeah, I think a lot of people got a great amount of nostalgia from that team from when they watched older Halo.
T2's next to me shaking his head. He's like, no, boys, we're definitely the best over here on the straight ripping squad. Anyway, back to the game. Renegade staying alive. Nice work. Opts to wander around on the platform. Rocket comes in. Takes 2 to take him down, so at least initially waste 1 to stay alive. And look at Sub-Zero, he's not scared to stand his ground. I absolutely love that, just to have the balls to just kind of move around the pillar and say, okay, you can shoot me in the back, but I'll tell you what, you're going to make sure I die, because if I don't, I'm coming back to challenge this one, which he does. Another grenade comes in thick and fast. No armor, nothing whatsoever when it comes to life. His shields will come back. The bullets come down, look at that. Turns around, snaps to a player, rips his head off, and now we're back on board with Spartan. Both as well, the camo and the OS.
Yeah, one thing I haven't realized, I didn't do exact count of power-ups / power weapons this game so far, but I'm almost certain every single camo has gone in the hands of Liquid, and I'm pretty sure the 2 OSs have also gone in the hands of Liquid, so that is not great. Obviously, we did see Splyce at one point kind of turn that situation around as they had Rockets, camo, OS, but that's still just kind of not enough. You don't want to put yourselves in some sort of situation where you have to get a turnaround kill on a camo guy or an overshield.
And not only have both of them gone to Liquid, it's always been the same players. The last 2 players have both had OS and camo, so just being that aggressive animal and be able to push things like the catwalk, for instance, because you do need to be tanked up, you do need to be ready to accept a battle, because when you're up there, you know, you're in an open spot, you get targeted from red, you get targeted from blue. Speaking of targeting, Boo boo, you got to find him, my friend. You can't whiff bullets like that, otherwise you will be punished. Spartan finds him, going to take him down. Now he rotates around, hits the blue bend, and now he's going to pre-grenade. Somebody please jump up there, because if they do, they're going to be getting a full frag to the face. But he didn't realize, I actually think there were a person creeping in the corner of blue, which punished him.
Yeah, for the first time, we're actually seeing Splyce get a few kills on the board. I like how Shooter instantly prioritizes this top catwalk. I've talked about it before, and I'll say it again. On Eden Strongholds, catwalk is the best stronghold to hold. You have similar options after you take control of it, and if an opposing team tries to take control of it back from you, they have to go through some very open areas, whether that's top blue plat or from lower red.
Now, the unfortunate, see, they're all dropping, but they've got a triple plot right now. They're ticking away this time, and Sub-Zero says, okay, well, it's time to change this. We know the OS is coming up. We're going to grab it. Once again, I wouldn't expect any less whatsoever. Going to run around with
got
rockets
OS as well. So just once, yeah, all these power-ups and power-ups just going in their hands. Stellar grabs that camo, too. I think we've seen every camo and every overshield going in the hands of Liquid. How are Splyce still making this a game?
See, this one pans out. Someone comes in to put a hold on it for a second. Everything just calms down, calm before the storm. Blue Bend's going to get traversed back. Renegade, oof. Takes a basketball to the face. That were a belting nade. Easy kill for Stella. Here's the kill out. His teammates will be helping him out there. But look at that. 1, 2, 3 plots. This time is going to sticks him as well. No way. The team shot. The teamwork. 1, 2, 3 members of Splyce. Bodies hit the floor. Still a triple cap in effect, honestly. Liquid are just doing so much damage. They are taking Splyce back to school.
Yeah, the definition of Splyce is to join or unite, but this Liquid squad, every step of the way, are dividing and conquering all these players.
I love that. That was a great transition. Absolutely fantastic. And you know what? Absolutely fantastic description, because that's exactly what's happening. Every single time we see it, they're just tearing them apart. 99, 100, Dave. That is 3-0. Are we going to see Liquid make the grand finals? Are we going to see them not only 4-0 envious, but 4-0 Splyce? This is an absolutely dedicated, finely tuned, and on-point Team Liquid.
Yeah, they're just playing absolutely on fire, just on top of every single weapon. I can't wait to take a look at the stats and see how badly they outslayed there, because it was clearly a Liquid-sided affair.
You've got to give a shout out to Symbolic in the back, the coach, because without Symbolic, they wouldn't be hitting all. That's, you know, a coach controls a lot more, and I give a lot of love to coaches in the back and stuff. But when you're seeing them be so efficient when it comes to power-ups, power weapons, OS, camo, rockets, it completely dominated the game there.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid outslayed by 16 kills, and you got to keep in mind how many overshields and camos they had. Each one, I mean, it's really tough to quantify and say an overshield's worth X amount of kills, but I do truly believe when you think about overshield, that is worth 1 to 2 kills, almost guaranteed if you play it right.
Dave, talk to me about the mindset of these players. You've been in this position probably more than you care to speak about. When you're one map away from being eliminated from the competition, what's going through your head?
You're starting to have some doubt. In many cases, you are starting to think, all right, what do I as an individual need to do? I need to step it up. I need to start hitting my shots. I need to start doing this. And you need to revert that thinking. It should never be an I conversation. It should be a we. What are we doing wrong? Because you win and you lose as a team. These players need to start baiting and switching more. Like I said before, I don't see these members of Splyce actually pushing around together. Any single time I do see them break a Liquid setup, those players that pushed through and broke that setup, they just die right away. Instead of buying more time for the rest of the members of Splyce to come crashing through and help break through.
Backs against the wall for Splyce. This is it, do or die. Now, in Halo, we've seen many things, including reverse sweeps. This isn't out of the question. It's not impossible. By God, it's not going to be an easy task.
No.
Let's put it that way. This will not be an easy task to achieve. If they want to win this and they want to make the grand finals for another crack at Optic Gaming, they have to win all matches back to back to back. We've got True CTF coming up next. Will this be the nail in the coffin for Splyce?
I mean, I can't foresee them turning it around here. It's so tough when you get down 3-0 in the series. If we had started to see, you know, maybe a slow start to Splyce and they had lost the first game in a commanding fashion like 0-3 and then came into game 2, brought it a little closer, and game 3 being closer. However, it kind of is being the reverse right now. every single game, they're losing by more and more of a margin.
It's the rotations for me. Every single time we look at Liquid, just a combination of rotating together and working as a complete unit, not individuals, just working as that one unit, just kind of like what Optic Gaming do, so to speak, to kind of emphasize a little bit more. When they're walking together, when they're doing the rotations, when they're doing the map movement, when they're locking people down off of the spawn and even predicting where they're going to be, pre-grenading, pre-scoping, getting ready to take the battle to them or accept any oncoming challenges. Yeah, it's rough, man. Splyce have got a lot of work to do, and with, you know, the kind of age of these players, like, we kind of keep pausing on it because they are young players.
Yes, some very young players.
It's a lot to take on board, and it's going to have a lot of a mental game and a lot of mental effect on them.
Absolutely. I mean, my mental fortitude, I'm sure, when I was like 16 to 18 is completely different when I was in my early 20s or mid-20s. I'm trying to think of the exact ages of those members of Splyce, but Shotzi's, what, 16? Renegade's something like 17 or 18? Either way, just very, very young players, and it's really tough to kind of have that mental fortitude to bounce back in a situation like this. Doubt is going to creep in your mind, and you need just something to spark that comeback.
Well, if you haven't joined us before, or you're new to Halo, or you didn't see it previously, well, let me welcome you, and let me bring you up to speed. Splyce right now are one map away from being eliminated from the competition. They need to pull off 4 back-to-back wins, a full reverse sweep of Liquid, if they want to make it to the grand finals. Now, these guys right here are your current Pro League Summer Season reigning champions. They claim victory. They beat Optic in 2 games. They beat them once, knocked Optic to a loser bracket, took them on again in the grand finals, whooped them again, and became champions. And we said before, at such a young age, at such a team in its life to win a championship, it's absolutely mesmerizing. But this is it. Do or die time. People in the audience, the crowd mics alive, make some noise! Capture the flag on Truth Day. First team to back 3 will be the victor. Who you want to kick things off with?
Well, I mean, Liquid are on a roll right now, so let's kick it off with Eco from Liquid. One of these kind of players, I mean, so many times we talk about the likes of Spartan kind of being that emotional player and leader on the squad. Sub-Zero always getting so many kills. Stellar kind of being this gun who's been jumped from team to team. Eco's the silent killer, man. He is so good.
Just creeping around. See if he can catch anyone on the radar. He's going to enter the enemy base, but they know he's here. Shopsy comes in with the initial grenade. They found out exactly where he is. They knew his plan. Kind of read it like a book, so to speak. Spartan off screen will take out Shotzi. Meanwhile, Sub-Zero battling for survival, one-on-one. If Spartan gets this, that'd be huge. I mean, thank God he had to reload. Otherwise, that was going to be a nice, clean, and very sick kill. Here comes the flagpole, though. The first one of the game. He's going to move into his teammate. That's going to be stellar. Bullets are coming in, and look at that. I love the fact that Eco has gone bottom mid to block people actually chasing. Fair enough, he's died, but what a valiant effort.
Yeah, so it's not so much as to block some of those spawns. He is making sure that anyone that tries to shoot his flag runner is going to pay with their life. So he saw shots and grenades coming out from under the Splyce base. He drops from top mill down to below their base to get those shots in. It's always an important facet to make sure if you don't have an angle on someone shooting your flag carrier, you need to get that angle.
Teamwork on point, on time, and once again, they're running a second flag. This is absolutely do or die in so much. I mean, they're just applying the pressure. They know that Splyce, their backs are well and truly up against the wall. They are literally against the door because they'll be going out of it if they lose this map. Taking a quick look round, how many players are here? We got one on the radar around the corner. Sub-Zero's going to know this. Checking the Eden. Doesn't actually come through, excuse me, the Eli doesn't come through. One player jumps up, will finish him. And all of a sudden, Eco. Nice little passive play. There's no point in getting aggressive, but he has been spotted out. Sticks him off the wall! Bloody hell, you lucky bugger. Backs it off and hits him on the foot, so at least good trade.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing kind of from this Liquid playstyle is they'll kind of post up a little bit further across the map, and then they'll wait to see if Splyce members will make some sort of misstep, make the first move, and let the members of Liquid get the first shots, and then they'll make the move after that. Right there, that one kind of backfired on Eco, even though he was able to kind of recoup himself there with that sticky grenade. But in short, he was just waiting for someone to push out Cart or Pink Side to get those first shots.
One will fall, and now Spartan is going to be the bodyguard. He's going to bring them back. This is exactly what they're doing, but he's whiffing shots. Oh my God! He's going to fall, but the grenades are coming in thick and fast. They may have been able to stop this one. It's all on Eco. Needs to jump up there. Ground pound town. There's a player coming below him.
Oh no!
He stalls it. Did they pick it up? Yes, they did. 2-0 now. Splyce, though, they're going to answer back and try and make something of themselves. Spartan, though, he's doing work. He's picked up a double. He's hunting them down, looking for the triple, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be eliminated, and the flag is out. All for a second. It looked like Splyce, they may have been able to make something of it, but I tell you what, Spartan the dog picks up a massive double to at least try and hold them back for a few seconds.
And that is so frustrating when you're in a perspective like Renegades, where he's over at the base, he sees there's a couple members still at their base. It's like, all right, I'm holding off 2 players, we should be getting this flag across the map. Yes, Spartan the dog has something else to say.
Couple of bullets coming through from Sub-Zero, Spartan, 1, 2, 3 members of Splyce, they're going to be down. Stella's going for the return, easy one for him, no one's putting any bullets. Shotzi will take out Eco right above his head. Turns around, nice kill, got lucky that that player was absolutely 0 shields, easy kill for him. Grenade goes down, hit markers will be found. Now he can push the advantage, looking for another player. Plenty of grenades answer back though, those frags come through, do the damage. Spartan's forced to go back, Renegade and Boo Boo Doo Boo, so now they're at a 2-man disadvantage, and look at that top mid. They're moving together side by side. It's not necessarily great because if one grenade does come in, it's going to absolutely obliterate both of them, but what a belting 5 coming out of Spartan.
Yeah, great shots, but those are the moments I'm talking about. We saw how Liquid was in a 2-on-4 situation. Yeah, those members of Liquid were able to take out 1 or 2 players of Splyce. That should not happen when you have a 2-man advantage.
See who will fall from this one. Boo steps back. First kill comes out, it's going to be Shotzi. One answers back, he will fall also from Eco. It's going to be Boo Boo Doo Boo going out. Good shots from Shooter, he's going to press in, gets one player out of the base. They do have a pull on the flag, but it's completely no one's kind of out in no man's
Look at this division right though. You had members of Splyce pulling the flag over at the Liquid base, yet they still had 2 members at their own base just trying to clear out Sub-Zero. It's just not the great allocation of resources.
Oh, and here we go. This could potentially be it. We'll see where they go off the spawn. We got Camo in the hands of Liquid. Spartan's running this one through. He's going to juggle this up and down. He does get bounced. Players running it in, and that's going to be it. Team Liquid are going to the grand finals, baby. 4-0 against your reigning champion, Splyce. Absolutely, excuse my pun, stellar performance. This is a new Team Liquid. This is the Team Liquid that is going to be showing Optic Gaming. Really, what is the potential of this team? I mean,
man,
amazing work.
It's absolutely scary if you're Optic right now because, sure, all 3 of these teams, Liquid, Envy, Splyce, they're all scary squads to play against. However, you don't want to be playing against a squad that beat that beat Splyce and Envy 4-0. That means you're playing a squad that's on fire and ready to play.
What a fantastic series we've just seen. I'll tell you what, guys at home, what a fantastic series we potentially could be in for. That set us up nicely for a grand finals matchup of Optic Gaming and Team Liquid. But before we get into that match, we need to discuss further about what we've just seen on screen. Golden Boy in the desk. Gentlemen, what do you think about that?
Thank you so much, Sims and Walshy. My goodness, Team Liquid. They have been unstoppable on Championship Sunday. This is what you want to see. 8 wins in a row. They do not look like they are slowing down. Neither of you guys, you predicted the Liquid win, I believe. Yes, you did?
Just saying.
Yes, you did. But did you think it'd be the 4-0 sweep like that?
To be honest, I thought my 4-2 prediction was pretty bold. You know, that I didn't think it would be that way. No, I thought Liquid were playing insanely well coming into that series, but with the ability that you have on that Splyce team, you always expect them to take a couple of games. You know, Sneaker Slayer out there, so much, you know, individual ability, but that was just ruthless coming out of Liquid. It was flawless Halo at times.
It was, and I think that you're starting to see everybody coming and playing their best game right now. And Dave's right, Walshy's right. You do not want to be Optic Gaming watching whatever team it is, whether it was Splyce, Envy, or Liquid coming in and winning 8 games in a row. You could see how well these guys are shooting, just how fired up they are. And I'm beginning to think, I mean, it's not over yet, but this is by far the best tournament that Spartan has had, especially with that closing out performance on Truth CTF.
Oh, 100% for me. I think Spartan literally, I questioned the pickup. I have to be honest. Spartan kind of fell by the wayside by a few teams, but look at him there on stage. I think you made the point before we went into that game, that energy that he brings to this Liquid team, maybe he was the fire that needed to be lit under those other players. The other 3, very calm, very composed, but when you've got a player who's popping off at the end of matches like that, when you're winning games, it just makes you focus up even more.
It's really odd, though, because everyone has been talking about Splyce as if they are like the second coming. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is the new generation. You saw that with Optic Gaming, or formerly CLG, then Optic Gaming. Their rise to prominence, they started to fall to the wayside. Splyce has a top performance as well. Tom, your thoughts?
But look at what happened yesterday, right? We never talked about Liquid. Liquid has been flying under the radar the entire time.
That's true.
The storylines today were, is Envy going to be able to bounce back? They barely squeaked by Luminosity. We didn't see much Liquid on the main stage throughout this weekend. Now they get their opportunity on the main stage. They are not letting it slip by.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And also, going back to talk about Splyce a little bit and their previous performance in the summer season finals, I said coming into this event, I think that's the best that Splyce could have possibly played in those series against Optic Gaming. And I thought it would be very, very difficult for them to replicate that performance at this tournament. Yes, they've played very well. Yeah, they're finishing top 3 of the tournament. But when they come up against a team who is on fire like Liquid, who's very solid, I wasn't surprised to see Splyce fall by the wayside slightly after their huge win back at the summer season finals.
So I did have an opportunity to chat with Lethal, and he mentioned that he actually wants to play Liquid. That was like.
Did he mention why?
He wants to play Liquid.
Did he mention why, though?
Oh, did he mention why? Oh, actually, no.
Those guys are good friends.
Yeah,
I think that's probably why. He just wants to have a good series against his friends. I know Stella, Eco, all of those guys are very close to those Optic guys. So it's going to be a good series. I want to see those friendships be thrown by the wayside, though. I want some horrible Halo. I want these teams going back and forth.
I want to see Spartan get fired up more, because we know how Optic...
Even more?
If they go... Yeah, even more, because if Optic wins, they're just going to fist bump each other. If Spartan wins, I don't know. We got to watch out for him and Papa Spartan coming together and just being a huge explosion.
Standing on his chair, throwing his hat up.
Yeah, throwing his
going Super Saiyan, man. That's our
He's
third Dragon Ball
up,
reference of the broadcast. Okay, well, let's just take a look at the bracket real fast, though. Get you guys up to date on what has taken place. First, we're going to take a look at the elimination bracket. And it started off the day with Envy going up against Liquid. Liquid, as you see there, just made short work. The boys in blue. That was going to be a 4-0 victory. And then you didn't think it was going to happen again. You just thought, perhaps Envy just aren't playing that well. Liquid, good job. You took advantage of the situation. Oh, how wrong we all were. Liquid, another 4-0 against Splyce. Onset?
Say how wrong we all were. Just
you said 4-2.
Well, here's the thing, though. Something to keep in mind is that Liquid, the only team that they've lost to this entire event is Optic Gaming. And that was a 3-1 series that happened on the featured station. So maybe they're going to be looking back and trying to get some revenge. But this is a different Liquid than yesterday. No doubt about it. A team that has just won 8 games in a row against the other top teams here. That doesn't happen very often, if not ever.
That's very true, but the thing we also have to remember now is that having lost to Optic Gaming, it's not just a case of going into the final beating Optic. They've got to beat Optic twice. Which is always a big ask, but we have seen it done before. So, I mean, this is going to be a hell of a series, and I'm really looking forward to these finals. I think they're such closely matched teams.
I'm so excited. I just want to see some great Halo, and I know everyone at home wants to see it as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your insight, but we're going to go to a break. When we return, it's time to decide who takes home $70,000 and the title of HCS Denver champion. You don't want to miss it. It's Team Liquid going up against Optic Gaming, and we'll see you on the other side.